Alright, so we are going to go ahead and look at the hyperbola. And my hyperbola has vertices of 2, 2, and at negative 2, 2. Those are the vertices of the parabola. Now you can probably guess where the center of that is going to be, but if you want to go through and find the formula for that, the midpoint of the vertices will always give our center. So the center of my parabola is just going to be 2 plus that negative 2 over 2. And again, this is the midpoint formula. And then 2 plus 2 over 2. This is the midpoint formula. And that gives me my center at, as we could see from the graph, it's going to be 0, 2. But if you ever need to just use the formula, you can, instead of graphing it. All right, so the next piece we have is we have the focus. So the focus of the foci of my parabola are 4, 2 and negative 4, 2. So that has my points here and here. Now remember, the points in yellow are not going to be part of the actual graph. Those are just guide points to help me graph this hyperbola later. But it does give me some important information. What that information gives me is that A is equal to 2. And I know that because A is the distance from the center to the vertex. And the other thing that I know here is that C is equal to 4. And I know that because C is the distance from the center to the foci. Now, in order to go ahead and write my equation of this hyperbola, I need to go through and find B. I do that by knowing that 2 squared plus whatever B squared is has to equal 4 squared. And I have that B squared is equal to 12. So B is the square root of that. And if I simplify it, I get B is equal to 2 times the square root of 3. Using this information, I can write my equation of the hyperbola, which is just x squared over 4 minus y minus 2 quantity squared all over 12. All of that is equal to 1. I could have written that as the quantity of x minus 0 squared if I wanted to, but because that is just 0 here, I don't need to go ahead and write that. I can just write it as x squared. So to finish graphing this, I need to find my critical points. I know that I have to draw my rectangle in, so I will need to come up here, plus b, and then come down here, minus b. When I'm moving in this direction, what changes is my y values. So let's go ahead and put those in. So that gives me right about here, that's going to be 0, that's 2 plus 2 square root of 3, or approximately 3.4. And then down here in the other direction, that is 0 for x, and then y is 2 minus 2 square root of 3, or approximately negative 1.4. So it's about here. So those are my guidelines. Alright, so I've got my guidelines drawn in. This is the 2 vertices for the hyperbola. And then I can just go ahead and when I draw in those 2 sideways pieces of it, just hug those guidelines.